Happy Friday, everyone. Yet again, happy Friday. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you are. I wanted to ask a question this afternoon. It's on my heart, it's on my spirit, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that you are bold enough to answer it. Not for me, but for you internally. I'm hoping that I hope that this video stirs something up in you that forces you to be bold enough to be able to get to the point to be able to answer this question. Before I ask that question, I was, today is Flashback Friday, and so I've been reminded of so many different things today, and oddly, I've been reminded of some things that has happened with my mom. And I remember I had to have been maybe 10 or 11. It really didn't fit in at any of the sports. I tried the choir, and I could sing, but I couldn't sing. So I would always be in the choir, but I wasn't going to lead a song. Okay? And I remember people talking to me about my walk and so forth. And so these things were always in my mind. And one day in middle school, this modeling agency approached us and came and was just like, your son should be out. They approached my mom. Well, they approached me first, and I came home and told my mom about it. And we ended up having a meeting with them. It was John Casablanca. Like I said, I was probably maybe 10 or 11, maybe even 12. And we'd gone in, and I remember sitting there, and I remember them telling us how much it was going to cost for me to attend this modeling and acting school. Like, I remember that. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Whew. Mom. Oh my goodness. And my mom said, okay. She said, baby, is this what you really want to do? I said, yes, ma'am, it is. She was like, are you sure? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, okay. I joined modeling and never did anything large. But the type of things that John Casablanca taught me internally would last with me forever. Like, I will never forget their training, ever. Fast forward just a little bit. I remember graduating high school. My mom had bought me a truck. And I remember a couple of years after that, the air in the truck had gone out. And I said, Mom, I want a new car. I said, the air in my truck has gone out, and I'm sick of this. I want a new car. She said, okay. I was, of course, still living with her. I had a little job, but she said, okay, you want a new car? I said, yes, ma'am. She's like, what are you going to do with your old truck? And I said, I'm going to keep it, but I want a new car. She said, okay. Can you afford it? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, is this what you really want? I was like, yeah, it is. She said, well, you go after it, baby. I went out. My dream car was a Mustang. It had always been a Mustang. And I went out. It took me a couple of months, but I finally found the perfect Mustang for me. I remember driving by this lot, because it wasn't too far from my home. I remember driving by this lot, and I know what you're thinking. The car wasn't there. I remember driving by this lot in the car. I had driven by this lot for days and weeks because it was really close to my house. But the car was never there. And I searched the newspaper ads, and I just couldn't find the right one. And I drove by one day, and the Mustang was there. Bright yellow, grabbed my attention, and I was like, that's it. I remember speaking to the lady before we closed the deal, and her comment or her thing was, she was like, I'm really glad you came by. She said, because I've been driving this car home every night. I was like, what? Like, oh my gosh. But it was crazy, but that was the reason why I had been singing it. I mean, she had obviously been driving it, and obviously she was saving it for me. And so, but anyway, a few years after that, I decided, I was probably maybe 20 years old. And I said, Mom, I remember come home and I talked to my parents and, we're not the Huxtables where we tried to sit down and make decisions. I was one of those over the top, somewhat dramatic kids. Mom, Dad, we need to talk. Oh my gosh. But, I did that. And I was just like, Mom, I'm ready to move out. I gotta go. I want my own. And they're just like, you don't need to leave, and we're not pressuring you to get out. Like they were not charging me rent. Just you need to be careful. Just are you sure? I was just like, yeah. So my mom calmed down, and she was just like, well, baby, are you sure that's what you really want? I said, yes, ma'am, it is. She said, okay. Can you afford it? I said, yes, ma'am. I can. She said, okay, you go after it, baby. I went out. Took me about a year to find that perfect house. I just simply wanted a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, nothing crazy. At that time, my niece was gonna move in with me, so the house was me getting it with her in mind. I wanted something because she was gonna be a teenager soon, and I wanted something that I knew she could grow into, that I could grow into. And so I found a home. I had a 5-person jacuzzi tub in the backyard. It was in the gated community. In fact, right to this day, the value within that community is still there. It's still there. Like it was a really great purchase. But I want to ask you today, if you're bold enough to answer the question, what's in your heart saying that you should be doing right now? Like, what's your dream? I've been learning along this journey that we should operate from our imagination, because it's our imagination that we left when we were a kid. I'm wanting you to be brave. I want you to dare to be courageous enough to use your imagination and allow it to get outside of that box that this world has created. Dare to imagine the possibilities if you just decided today to live outside of the box and do what you have always wanted to do in your heart of hearts. I mean, that thing that keeps you up at night. That thing that like me, this speaking thing, this inspirational thing, like I can't shut up. Like I can't go to sleep. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing recorded conversations with people that I know are going to add value to your life as well as mine. I'm paying countless advertisements because I know this needs to get out there, and I'm not asking for anything in return. Like I'm not selling you on anything. I just know in my heart of hearts that this is where I'm supposed to be at this exact place and time. Like I know in my heart of hearts that I'm doing what's right for me. And this is my dream right now. And one thing I forgot to mention is a couple of things. When I did John Casablanca as a kid, I never could have imagined the amount of confidence that it would have instilled in me. Because after all, I was a gay little black kid that most people either didn't want to play with or people didn't want to deal with. People were ashamed to say they knew me. That was me. I never could have imagined that John Casablanca could have taught me so much confidence that it's allowing me now to hold a position that is all about respect. When I was out there seeking that Mustang, this is for you car enthusiasts. When I was out seeking that Mustang, I just wanted a convertible. But the universe decided to give me this yellow and black, beautiful, custom, one of a kind, I kid you not, Ford Mustang with the shaker engine, pipes going out the side, not the back. I never could have imagined that that would have been my dream car. And no different from that house. That house, I just wanted a house that I can call my own. I had no idea that I was gonna get a new home. That house was less than 20 years old. That house had so much to offer. It had a beautiful open floor plan, and it had neighbors that I could call neighborly. I never could have imagined that that's me asking for a new home. I never imagined that that's where it would have been. And that's no different than now. I'm here, arms open, outstretched. I'm in my lane. I know my vision. I know my dream, and I know my goal, which is for me to do exactly what I'm doing now. To be happy, to be able to be a self-proclaimed investment personality. Investing in real estate and investing in others' future through positivity videos. I'm doing what I want to do right now. But I do know that there's something else out there. I do know that the universe has something else for me that I can't even imagine right now. So my question is to you still. Are you bold enough to imagine? Are you bold enough to just dream? And remember your imagination, and remember your self-awareness. Remember what it is that your heart desires are asking you to step forth in. Are you bold enough to remember? I just got 2 last questions for you. In regards to your dreams, in regards to your imagination, in regards to your possibilities. Once you do realize it's what you want, you know you can't sleep, you've awoken from a dream, realizing where your true passions lie. When you get to that point, I just want to know, are you sure that's what you want? And can you afford that, baby? I don't mean financially, but spiritually. Can you afford it? And if the answer is yes, and I'm almost certain it is, because if the universe has put it in your heart, that means that you can afford to give your all. So if your answer is yes, that you can afford it, go after it.